Thank you for tuning into Healantra podcast. Get ready for a dose of holistic wellness talks to help you achieve optimal health. Enjoy this episode.
Welcome to another insightful episode of Healantra, your go-to destination for holistic wellness. Today's guest is an inspiring individual who has transformed her life in remarkable ways. She lost 18 kilos in just 1.5 years, navigated through a divorce, and moved to a new country to start a fresh chapter in her life. And she comes with an impressive professional background. In 2023, she made a bold decision to leave a high-level position and relocate her family from Singapore to Bali. Prior to this, she held significant roles with over a decade of experience in training and coaching within the corporate environment. Today, she has found a new way to balance her career achievements with personal growth, working from home while caring for her 2 children, and exploring her interests in stand-up paddleboarding, meditation, lifestyle design, cooking, and life coaching. In this episode, we dive into her life transformation as a holistic method to weight loss. We'll explore how she achieved her ideal body weight without extensive or expensive programs or suffering, and the positive impact this transformation has had on her life, providing practical strategies for anyone looking to embark on a similar journey. So let's welcome Shaojun Mou. It's an honor to have you here with us.
Thank you so much, Rasha. It's an honor for me to be here as well, and I'm excited to share my story, and hopefully some of the pointers will be useful to the audiences.
I'm sure they are. So tell us about your journey. I mean, there's been very drastic changes in your life all at once. You moved countries, you changed careers, you had a divorce. That by itself is a mouthful. And all that, it affected your health, and then your health changed along the way. So tell us how your journey started and how all that kind of played along in your journey.
Right, sure. I'm happy to share. For starters, I like to share that my life hack is about learning. I'm a kind of person who always like to find answers, use knowledge or solution to overcome difficulty in life. So after COVID, after working from home 3 years and not moving, no exercise, and eating unhealthily, I gained a lot of body weight. I was 75 kilo at 2022, beginning of the year. I felt heavy, lack of strength, and there wasn't so much of energy to do anything I like in life. And I just know somehow, hopefully in the future, a more healthy person like myself will be available if I'm determined. So I have this dream to be reaching the ideal figure and wanting to have a good skin and have more life force, more energy than what I was then. So I had this beautiful dream, and I just didn't know how until I had an opportunity to know some people in the new company I joined in the beginning of 2022. And somebody managed to lose weight, 29 kilo, after she gave birth, and she has gone through some personal training and diet program. I was like, wow, this is possible. So now looking back, I feel the power of example. That's why I'm here, ready to share. Girls or boys, this is possible. If you believe it, if you see somebody that has gone through this procedure, you will just know you're not alone and it is possible. So from this new friend I knew, and I just followed her steps simply by introducing one-time workout on a Friday together. And then I also tried to reduce the portion which I thought I need, or, kind of reduce some stress eating, or unconscious food, unconscious consumption of sugar and fat and stuff like that. So as I progress over 3 months and I lost 8 kilo, then I saw there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And then I just keep going, keep going. I also changed my diet to be more mindful. Also, I reduce snacks. So before, I read something on the internet. If you eat like 8 meals a day, you eat little, you'll be very healthy. But no. So I try to focus on 3 meals a day and make sure no snack between 2 meals for 4 to 5 hours. Just drinking water, coconut water, coffee a little bit. I'm not that radical to give up the things I love. And I also focus a lot on introducing green vegetables, fruits into my diet. I felt I didn't have to suffer like to give up on the things I love. The main thing is about trusting I don't really have to eat 3 heavy meals like I always in the whole life. So that helped me a lot. And as time passing by, so around 18 months later, I lost 18 kilo. So that's exceeding my original target of 12 kilo. I'm really happy and
Impressive.
I feel more energetic and I'm more confident in taking pictures. And then I'm very happy about most of the photos or videos I take recently. I just feel I'm lighter than high school and things are just beautiful and I'm happier than before.
That is such a drastic change, and it takes a lot of determination to achieve this goal. I mean, initially you said 8 kilos in 3 months. This is really, really good. I mean, apart from changing your eating habits and starting to do a workout a week with these people that you met, did you have any other drastic changes in your habits, in your day-to-day habits?
Yes. So I now only eat vegetable and fish and prawn and seafood. So I give up on chicken, pork, and beef, which I love for more than 40 years. I love. And this is just something I realize may prevent me from progressing based on my body condition, especially for pork. So I removed that totally.
And usually when people are going drastic changes in their life, like changing their where they live and changing their career, they usually resort to food as emotional eating to kind of comfort them. But you actually went the other way. So tell us how that particular part of your journey was like, because I think for most people, this is the hardest thing.
Yeah, yeah. Now you talk about that, and now I want to really applaud for. I didn't swing back to the old me. How I moved to the new country. I think that it's probably because I'm already halfway successful before I moved to Indonesia, and I already have this habit to be mindful about eating the variety of the food, also making sure no snacks between 2 meals, and making sure there's only one heavy meal per day. So breakfast usually is light and dinner is light, lunch is heavy, or lunch is light and dinner is heavy. So there's one big meal per day. And so I didn't really have a lot of craving for big portion or certain food in the country I lived before. Talking about resorting to something to make myself feel better, I feel probably I love Bali so much. I'm always excited and I enjoy nature. Also, I enjoy the freedom for making my own schedule. So that kind of excitement and newness kind of reward me. So and also I cook a lot now compared to when being a corporate employee in Singapore, where I always buy food from outside. So that in a way also balanced my choice of meal and the way of cooking. So somehow it worked out in a consistent way, even if I change country.
So it sounds to me like you used a hook or a habit to stack other things on top of it, which was something that was natural to you, which was mindful eating. So you already had this habit in you that you were not resorting to junk food if you felt bad or just as a normal lifestyle. Your actual normal lifestyle was more or less eating healthy, and you use that as a propeller or as an anchor to develop other healthy habits, and you actually brushed that habit or polished it even further when you moved. So does that sound right?
Yeah, absolutely. What else helped me is electric weighing machine. That is the thing I always go to every morning. So every morning I just make sure it's not too much difference from the day before. Or if I happen to have a big meal or happen to feel I'm eating a lot of food the day before, I know, okay, it looks like I need to take care to balance off some of the extra calorie I intake the day before. So in the whole week, I feel I'm not consistently like a robot, like I do the same thing with a percentage and kilo, not. So some days it's okay. Some days I just feel like, okay, today I think I'm able to do less. So in my mind, I always have this bar. So certain day it's like a higher bar. Okay, next day reduce, and next day in the middle or something. I just know some day it's up, some day it's down, but overall, on average, it's acceptable.
That is beautiful. It's beautiful because you had this kind of compassion to yourself. You did have a very set goal in mind, and you kept that goal every day. When you woke up, you weighed yourself, so you had that goal in mind and you had that goal present with you. But at the same time, you weren't beating yourself up if you crossed certain boundaries or crossed certain limits that you had put in order to achieve those goals. So you had this self-compassion. So this really helps, right? Like being self-aware to the point where you're like, okay, that's fine. I didn't do what I wanted to do today. Tomorrow is another day. And when you start again, then you set a different kind of bar. So this is beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
And so making a move to another country is already a big decision for someone, especially with having two children and having gone through a divorce, which is already a big step, a big life change emotionally and in so many different ways. So what triggered you to take the decision or to make the decision to move to a different country? Because it sounds to me like it was exactly the right, like what the doctor ordered, right? Because it actually helped you with this goal that you had set. You started cooking more, you had more free time, you were in a place that you actually enjoyed being. The environment around you was something that you really enjoyed being in. So what triggered you to make that decision?
Right. Thanks for asking that question. Now looking back, it looks like too perfect to be true. And I like to rewind back to the three most important questions I had 2 years ago. So I always felt deep down I'd love to be a loving mom. I love to be patient and talking to my kids more, cooking for them. I also love to have my own business. I also mentioned that I love to have a schedule that's good for my exercise or sleep and many things. However, back then in Singapore, I just don't know, given this corporate life, 9 to 6, but honestly, it's 9 to 9 or 9 to 12. If you know, like I spend a lot of energy at work, so I become grumpy and impatient with kids. Also, I have no time for myself, and things are expensive in Singapore. So, but I need to keep up. So that is a lifestyle over there. So a year and a half ago, I had a chance to come to Bali for a yoga retreat. And I got to know over here, there are a few interesting things. Number one is about the school's curriculum. So they prepare kids to get access to nature, beach, yoga, mindfulness, and cooking classes. That was an eye opener for me because in Singapore, such thing doesn't seem to be important or available. Kids are more often seeing, studying, reading more, and learning more formula or learning more words. And that was refreshing for me. And then I also got to know that in Bali, the living cost is way less than Singapore overall. I thought, wow, okay, so what if I move here and see what happened? And there are other things about lifestyle. So in Singapore, I always sleep at maybe 12 o'clock, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. is normal. Maybe by 10 o'clock p.m., I'm still in the mall or in the train, just busy, or I'm just online for my boss or for something. And then I just got to know if I were to work for myself, maybe there is a possibility I can uh, work more efficiently to focus on the important things and allow myself to turn in early. And I did. So last year, I see myself already flat in bed, 9 p.m. And here is away from the mall, MRT, trains, and crowded. It's really, really dark in that time. So I feel I'm at the right place and the right time to take a rest. I don't have a lot of phone call or people to attend to or malls to go to feel better by buying things because I already had my dinner at home, showered early, and that I used to do, just slowly go to bed and go to sleep. And then I realized I've recovered my sleep, which is unbelievable. Never in my life I know there is a possibility to sleep at 10 p.m. and wake up at 7. That's 9 hours. How is that even possible? For 20 years in Singapore, impossible. I've been sleeping an average of 6 hours or 5, and I don't know why I was so busy.
Yeah, and this is another pillar, right, of this holistic health when it comes to your physical health and well-being. Is you mentioned one was healthy eating and obviously a good amount of sleep and good restful sleep. And then it seemed that by you making that decision, you ticked so many boxes, and it was a no-brainer. And I have to say this, I mean, first of all, you really are an inspiration because making these kind of bold decisions is not an easy thing for people usually. And so it takes a lot of guts, it takes a lot of determination, and it takes a lot of self-power. And so you really are an inspiration, and I really hope that people listening, they do get inspired. And I also have to say that and for those people who might come and say, you know, they're skeptical and say, oh, but you already had a job that maybe allowed you to move or whatever. I mean, everybody, when you make your list of where you are in life, you will find things that will work for you. Not everything is going to be against you. So you make that list, and I'm trying maybe here projecting that you probably, yeah, that you did this, or maybe you didn't, but it's an idea. And maybe you can share with us how that process of making that decision was for you. But for everybody, there is always something, right, that we call leverage. You always have some kind of leverage that you're not starting from 0 or from -10. There's always something that you have that you're going to bring into the table that will help you push you towards making a specific decision. It's not everything dark, or it's especially when you're clouded by this cloud, right? When it's something emotional happening in your life, It doesn't mean that you can't be searching for that light or for that reality. All of us do have leverage. So maybe share with us how you came. Did you make a list of, what were the things that worked to your advantage, that helped you, gave you the strength to make a big decision?
Sure, sure. Overall, I have this what if question, as always. So I've been very comfortable in Singapore, the place I stay, the environment, colleagues, office, and everything. However, I realize there is this alarm at the back of my mind telling me that this is no longer interesting and this is no longer making me happy. And some meetings are not as interesting to me now than before. So I didn't ignore those voices. And I listened them and asked again, are you sure this is not interesting? Are you sure it's not because you are wicked-minded or you're crazy? And then the voice says, yes, this is not inspiring and this is not really making me learn. So I basically talk to myself, and I always tell myself that, okay, so what would you like to do? And I'm here to support you. So I don't have all the answer. I also don't have unlimited resources. However, my intention is I just want to make sure this self-talk is constructive rather than complain or blaming or like talking down. So with that, right, I just feel sure, okay, I can do this, trust myself in this. So I have long conversation with my parents from China. They came to Singapore and they're so shocked. Are you sure? We are moving from Singapore to another country and Singapore is the best, and how could you? And you have kids, don't be so random and irrational. And I saw myself holding the hands of my parents. I said, Daddy, Mommy, please trust me. Please trust me that I got this. I know what I'm doing. And as I always do, please trust me. And even if things doesn't work out, there will be a way. So I turn their worry to some kind of confidence, and I keep them posted about what's going on. So this whole plan doesn't sound so uh, unrealistic. So for the kids, I also talk to them almost every day about mommy's relocation plan because that affects them. To be away from the home country, away from their friends, also this modern, classy, golden city where everything is perfect to something unknown. So I share with them this concept of uh, like I see kids, I see you lock yourself in the air conditioned room, on computer, on TV for long hours. Sometimes mommy don't say anything because I was also busy. I was hoping you don't come and disturb me. So we're all good. However, deep down, I feel worried because I feel you guys should be having some physical activity in nature, and you guys should have a childhood that's really healthy than just stay in the next room, don't bother me. I feel this is not so good. So how about, so I share with them about the reason, the intention, the benefits, and my thinking around it. I said, let's try this and see how things will work out. So fortunately, they're really obedient kids, and they come and they didn't complain. Although over here there are more mosquitoes, we get mosquito bites sometimes. So they are away from the home country. Things are different. Also, they get less electronics, but now they get more access to nature. We do boogie board. They go to the beach, and I bring them out by myself, and I cook for them. And they tell me, and they say that, Mommy, you are more patient with us, and you seems to be happier now, and we enjoy the way you are here. And also they love the school here. So the school here, I feel the vibe is generally very friendly and very open and pro kid age appropriate kind of behavior, because kids can be noisy and messy. And I observe the way the teachers respond to that is chill. They take it easy. So they don't try to control the kids to sit or behave in a certain way. So they say, okay, kids, this is the time we do this and this. So in between, you are feel free to go to the playground, skateboard, football, or climbing that a barrier. They have a slope with barrier for them to climb. And it's quite okay to make noise and mess around. So teachers look pretty chill and relaxed in that kind of messiness. They don't get nervous. I feel, wow, that's nice. And the kids can feel that as well. And the kids, I mean, they're doing okay in terms of score. They're also learning new languages here, Indonesia Bahasa. And so whatever the science, mathematics, English, and social studies is according to Cambridge curriculum. I just know they will get to university sometime in future, hopefully. And so it doesn't matter how and where, which route they get there. And I'm pretty happy, and they're pretty happy. So they also stopped negotiating with me to not to go to school compared to home Singapore last time. They're like, oh, is it okay I skip today or I don't go to school today? But nowadays they're like pretty keen to go to school and see their friends again. So this is something I feel personally really relieved that they are doing okay, and they're happy.
That is so beautiful. I have a few things from what you just shared. First of all, when you talked about how your parents were trying to talk you out of your decision, all I could think about is this internal dialogue that we normally get when we're trying to make a decision. And then you have this side telling us, yeah, it's okay, you can do it. And then the other side telling us all of the bad things that could happen. And it's so beautiful that you actually you chose what we say in life coaching, the more empowered thinking. And you projected that empowered thinking also to your parents. And when they felt that energy, they felt that it was coming from something true, from something that you actually believed in, and something that was backed up by your values, because you had all these other things that weren't working in accordance or in alignment with your values where you lived. So when all of these things kind of clicked with each other, there was no resistance anymore from the outside, which in this case is your parents. And then this whole vision of resistance also comes to mind in the other part of the story, where you say that your kids, as many of our kids do, when they're not really happy, they resist going to school. But when everything is kind of clicked with each other, everything sort of falls into place and beautifully, then this resistance starts to disappear. And you also mentioned how the teachers were not as, picky about when the kids go out and play or certain things that we normally see in schools, when the teachers are more focused on the academics and grades of the children. And so there again, there is no resistance. It's more of the allowing of this flow. And so when you were saying this, your story, this is all I could think of, is this beautiful flow when everything comes in alignment. And when you made your decision, you made it in accordance and in alignment with your own values. And just everything was quote unquote easy, right? So thank you for sharing that. I have this beautiful vision now of your story in my head, and I just had to kind of portray it the way I saw it.
Thank you for highlighting this resistance. I mean, so if we do not create resistance and it doesn't exist, right? It's nice to see that way.
Yes, absolutely. And the other tool which you used, which is you chose empowered thinking. When you put all these what if scenarios, and when you started having this internal dialogue, and you chose the thinking that was more empowering to you and to your family, that made more sense in the long term. And when you actually really thought about the things that you were quote unquote giving up by doing this change, and all you could see is it just made sense, and then that uh, made you take the next step and the next step, and then your parents came, and then you just had their blessing, and then the next step, and then just things just were so easy when we choose for ourselves, like you said, not to resist, when we choose our thoughts. And this all comes back into this whole idea of, our whole selves. So you're taking care of your physical health by sleeping better, by eating better. You're taking care of your emotional and mental health by choosing how you think, and how you can manage your emotions. And so all these things start to play in a beautiful harmony with each other. So to me, I don't get tired of using this word holistic, and I'm not sorry that I always use it all the time, because this is what um, the idea behind Healantra is about. This is why I get to meet beautiful, inspiring people like you. It's because there is some kind of magic, if I may say so, when all these elements come together in harmony, right? So what are your thoughts on that?
Um, I felt I changed from working on the perseverance and pushing myself to live with flow. That's a huge change. So people talk about flow, people talk about accepting what is. I used to look at them and think, nice. I like to have that. I really like to have that, but how does that work? So I've been checking that out from far, from different angle. Like, what is it? I'm just curious. I'm just curious. And as I experienced the recent 2 years, I realized that, okay, I understand in some way, in some aspect, how that means, which means noticing, for example, when I get upset, when I get frustrated or angry or anxious. So my old mindset was to work harder, push more, stay more hours, and try again. It worked. Many times it worked, but I'm exhausted. And I told myself before, "Dude, you're exhausted. That means you tried enough. You're safe and you're ahead. And you're still in the leading position, whatever hypothetically I was thinking about. Like if I'm too relaxed, something must be wrong. If I'm too happy, something must be wrong." So that was my and then as I started to feel curious, those successful people, what are they talking about? They talk about you need to be happy first and feel successful. I want to have that too. How does that work? So I started uh, to get in touch with this kind of learning from Mind Valley, and to see, well, sure, you can be happy and successful in the same time. You don't have to really push yourself until you're in great misery and just feel, I get it. But at the back, you just feel so much burden and pain and hurt, which I always been. And I thought that's a way, there's no other way. So now I kind of get it, like relax. And if I'm able to relax, I'm able to feel connected with myself. I can be more creative. I can be more compassionate. And when I'm radiating this vibe, I'm helping my client to relax. I'm helping my loved one to relax, and making this whole small environment a better place, and isn't that nice? So I'm still learning and experimenting.
I love how you started our conversation with, life is all about learning. And this is what we're doing right now as well. We're learning with each other. We're exploring, different little moments in time and see what really comes up from them. Because if you're open to it, life will always bring you learning opportunities. And a lot of what you said, it resonates so much with me, and I'm sure it's going to resonate with the people listening. And something in specific was when you were talking about your emotions. And when you said that when these emotions that we call the bad emotions, right, like anxiety and anger and all these things started to come up in your life, you started using what you thought was the right way to deal with them or to manage them, which is by doing more, trying to achieve more, getting more things, tasks done and finished. And then because you thought that that's what's going to make those emotions disappear and make you feel good, make you feel joy and happy and proud of yourself and all these things, right? I'm projecting here, but because this is also part of my life story and it resonates a lot with me. And when you found that, again, it goes back to the same, right? It's the resistance. So if we try to suppress them and we try to cover them and we don't listen to them, then they're not going to go away. And then we're going to get tired. We're going to get exhausted because it's like we're swimming against the current. But when we actually listen to them, listen to the emotion, what is it trying to tell us? There's something underneath the anger and the anxiety and the fear. There's something underneath that is trying to teach us, right? Something that goes back to learning. It's trying to teach us something, and we're meant to listen in order to allow this emotion to go. And then we're going to feel happy once we have realized what the lessons are, once we have allowed this emotion to teach us. So thank you so much for sharing that. And again, it ties back into the whole holistic aspect. So you have your emotional, your mental, and your physical health, check. And we talked in the beginning about meditation. So you said that you do practice meditation, which ties up into the spiritual aspect of the self. Can you tell us a little bit more about your journey with meditation?
Sure. Meditation is a hot word. So as a learner, inevitably, this hot word would pop up in many places. So I'd love to try. So my first encounter is, okay, they're talking something school don't teach and my bosses don't talk about, or the mainstream don't like broadcast on a regular basis, just something really interesting. I'm curious, right? And then I realized that, oh my God, so how can I apply? And what's the usefulness of this? So this mind about money or maybe work is like, why am I spending these 10 minutes doing nothing here? So I have this debate in the beginning. And then I start to continue read more about the usefulness of meditation and allow using it to make myself more relaxed and sleep. And also thankful Mind Valley, there are so many categories. So I kind of embrace with this mindset of usefulness because it does help me in many scenarios. So I can search for how I feel right now and choose a meditation that is right for that emotion. And it does feel better. It does feel better. So that's really inspiring for me. So I don't have to debate why am I here. So I'm already accepting it. As I do more and more, I recently started to meditate without audio, like no music, no words, and I don't have to repeat like a positive affirmation or stuff like that. The most recent meditation I have is just think about the day, think about those moments of resistance. Like I just want to sleep without to worry too much about a few things. So I try to look at them. I just go through them. What I did was just look at them without thinking what to do, like solution or maybe the repercussion or the possible threat or danger or what happen in future if this and so I just look at this. Okay, this happened and this happened and this happened. Okay, I notice you. Okay, now I need to sleep. Please give me space and let me sleep. So I try to do that to acknowledge a few challenge or negative things daily. And then I try to also quickly think about what I'm happy today and think about a few things I'm grateful. Any small thing, anything, just at least three things. As I started to think about three things, I feel three is not enough. There are more than three I'm happy with. So I think and think and think, and I feel that the problem I didn't forget. So subconsciously, I'm not guilty for being lazy to not even look at my problems. But on the other side, I enjoy the sweetness of life more than before. So that's my current, like no tool, no music, no audio kind of self-meditate. And it's okay. I like it. And I feel I'm sleeping better, deeper. And I started to like a really, really deep sleep and can't really remember a lot of dreams like before. So hopefully this is a good sign to relax.
Yeah, well, for one, I am grateful for you and for all the beautiful things that you're sharing with me and with everyone today. And I'm going to write that in my gratitude journal tonight before I go to sleep. So thank you for that. And I have a question that if you have a practical advice for people who are listening, and if they want to start this journey of taking care of their health better, and specifically because this is the topic we're talking about today, which is weight loss, and if they feel that they need to lose weight because it is better for their health, or it's for their overall health and well-being, what is one practical tool that they can start with today, and it's small and it's doable and it's achievable?
Sure. Slow is something I like to highlight. Slow down, slow down. For example, when feeling really hungry or really craving for a certain food, try to trust that you're not going to die right now without having it. That's number one, slow down and just live with that hunger, live with that craving for 1 minute. And then you realize that it's not too bad. And then think about, do I really need that portion? So what if try a little bit less or introducing a little bit healthier and see what happens. So this whole thing is all about change, right? Little change, like change from rushing to buy the thing to eat a lot like before. So it's about really slow down and look at the old way of eating, old way of thinking, what we need to eat and how much we need to eat and how soon we're going to get it, to just slow down and realize you're safe, you're okay. Just wait for 1 minute, 2 minutes, and just know that you're fine and you can make a better choice. Yeah, that's something I personally find very useful.
It's so beautiful, and it ties up into all of the aspects of this holistic paradigm, because you slow down when you feel like you want to eat. You slow down when your thoughts are coming, bombarding your head with all these different ideas and all these different things, then they're telling you all these, all sorts of things. You slow them down, and then, you'll be able to filter out what's an empowering thought, what's not. When you have these emotions that are trying to just rush through your body, you also slow down and you try to listen to them. So I love it. I love it because it applies to everything. Even when you meditate, it's all about slowing down. And automatically you will feel that even everything around you starts to slow, starts to quiet. And you'll be able to hear the voice of your inner voice, your intuitive voice, that voice that's been trying to speak for a long time. All the noise starts to go away when you slow down. So it's such a beautiful advice. Thank you so much for that. Thank you,
You're welcome.
Shaojun. Thank you. This was truly, truly inspirational. It was food for my soul, and hopefully for everybody who's listening and watching, or who will listen and watch the episode. I'm very grateful to you and for all the beautiful gems, and for sharing your story as well, because that also takes a lot of guts, and I'm very grateful to you, and I'm very sure that it's going to inspire many people.
Thank you so much for the opportunity and the space for me to acknowledge and reflect, to talk about this part of my life. And thank you so much. I enjoy talking to you and sharing the story.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode. We hope you found it insightful and you enjoyed it as much as we did creating it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Let's continue creating this amazing community of holistic wellness seekers and practitioners together. See you in the next one.